Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Just Another RC podcast. I believe we're on episode 19. At some point, I may stop labeling the episodes numbers because I may be recording them and playing them out of order. So I have a bit of a back catalogue to fall upon if we have no guests one week. I do apologise for the mess behind you, for those of you watching at home on YouTube. It's all my stuff from the weekend. It's just come back. I've piled it on the desk and I haven't really sorted much stuff out yet. Tonight we're going to be joined by, as you can see, Tony the Champ Bishop, who is a Team Schumacher driver. He is the current UK off-road 1/10 electric stadium truck national champion for the past 3 years. He is working his way to making that a fourth year, with a win on Sunday from round 4 at Coventry. Tonight we're going to be having a bit of a chat about Coventry, how we got on, what happened, have a look at the results, and also Tony's going to tell us a little bit about his racing, about what he's been doing, and about how he's been getting on in the actual in the championship in the UK in the Truck National Series. So Tony, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and if you want to carry on.
Yeah, I'm Tony Bishop. I'm section chairman for the 1/10 truck section. Also, as Phil said, Schumacher driver and current champion for the stadium trucks in the truck section.
Fantastic. I will make a little bit of an apology. We do have an internet delay. I don't actually have fibre in this area. So if we do talk over each other, it is not intentional. It is because of the delay, and it's coming across that we're actually kind of not really doing that. So hopefully I've now cured all my audio issues. I believe there was a little hitch about 5 minutes into the last one. From what I've seen, there's nothing I can do about it. That was just purely an internet issue. Sometimes my internet does drop out. It does the same with the TV because the TV's on there as well. So it just drops out momentarily. Okay, Tony, the weekend we were at Coventry Model Car Club, who laid on a fantastic track. Thank you, James, and all of your team. Those of you that saw the track, I'm sure you appreciated how good it was. Those of you who saw it online and watched the live feed that we did, thank you very much. Those of you who were watching all day, we had quite a few viewers pop on and off throughout the day. Those of you who watched all day, thank you very much. Seeing the people actually watching it makes it all worthwhile putting the time and effort in for us guys to actually arrange that for you. So tell me about your weekend at Coventry, Tony. Do you want to show us your car, the winning car?
Yes. This is going to be how to get this on the big screen. Right. And not being blurred. So
there we go. Look at that. The number 1 sticker in the window there.
Yeah.
And I believe that is a Schumacher Storm.
Yeah, ST2.
It's the ST2, okay.
Yeah.
And what motor are you running in that?
Hobby Wing 6-turn.
Okay.
And the Alceram speed controller.
Very nice. So, is that the setup you've had for all season, or have you changed the setup throughout the season?
No. Well, apart from going to a 7.5 at Boughton, that was it. Also, I have got a wet truck. So when we was at A1, we had an 8.5 in the dry, but in the wet. But when we went to the dry, back to the 6-turn.
Fantastic. So, the Alceram Speedo, that's the one that you can program without a program box, isn't it? That's the one with all the controls on top of the Speedo.
Yes.
And is that, I believe that the version 1 and there was a version 2, is that the version 1 or version 2 that you are running?
I've got the version 1 in the stadium truck.
Okay. So, how do you feel that, obviously, it performed well for you the weekend? How do you feel that you performed overall in the weekend?
Good. A few little mistakes in a couple of runs, but a silly one in round 1. Let Kit take the win in round 1, and got away with one in round 3. Still TQ'd the round, but it was close between us. I think it was think it was 0.13 of a second. I think it even might have been closer than that. I think that might be another round. It was that close. It was very close between us in that round. So I got away with one in there. But the finals were all good. No crashes in the finals, just one little bobble over the doubles in leg one, which left the door open for Kit. But legs 2 and 3, nice, clean, precise, didn't leave him any space to do any moves or anything.
I will admit I didn't see leg 3. I didn't see your third final. I
Yeah.
was too busy trying to pack some of my own stuff away. But I certainly watched the first one, and I watched it was very close, and then as we came into that final corner, it then kind of, that's where he took over. And I think I've actually got that on video. So with the 2 cameras set up, I actually was switching between the cameras and following you guys as you were coming onto the straight. So if you look back at around about 4 p.m, I think it was, which was the first leg of the 3-part final, I think you'll be able to actually kind of watch that back and see it if you wish to do so. So over the weekend we had a fantastic event. The venue, as always, is brilliant. Thank you, James, and your team. It's not just one person; it is a team event. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank yourself and your team, Tony, for all the stuff that you guys do behind the scenes that none of us actually see. From the moment you turn up, even beforehand with all the bookings and stuff. And while we're on the subject of thank yous, I'd like to thank Mark Biddis for enabling me to do the event, because he lent me a part which I'd broke on the Friday, or got broken on the Friday, which then enabled me to carry on and do the event, even though I had a few issues throughout the weekend. But it still meant I made the start line, kind of. So I made the start line for the final, so that's all that counts. And I made the start line for practice. So the weekend taught me through the Saturday, taught me about practice.
For me, practice was just go around and do some laps, really, and just did some more laps and did some more laps. Didn't really change the car setup, knowing that been there a few times now, so the base setup there is pretty well sorted. And then just went out on old tyres for the first couple of runs, and then put a better set on, which was the set I used at Boughton for the 3 finals. So they weren't brand new. And just ran them and continued running them until round 3 on the Sunday, when I put a new set of rears on, and then used them for the rest of the day. But yeah, base setup worked really well, and there were some hot laps coming in from Jamie Long and Alan Wielden on the Saturday. Kept me on the toes. But Sunday morning, woke her up nice and fresh and went out in practice and took half a second off the lap times I was doing on the Sunday.
Fantastic. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm not being ignorant and turning my head away from you. I've got multi-screens and I'm actually looking at some live time results on my other screen. So please don't think I'm being ignorant by turning my head away. So Sunday we started with 1 round of practice, then we went into 4 round of qualifying, and then 3 finals for everybody. The practice session seemed to go okay. I thought the track had changed overnight a little bit and got a little bit looser. And then some of the grip kind of got back. Having not run most of the practice, most of the qualifiers, when I then come to do my final, I found the track was like it was exactly like on the Saturday, which was a bit different to in the morning. Also, obviously, you were not only doing your own car, but you were doing the computer and other stuff as well, wasn't you?
Yeah.
And a little bit commentary?
A little bit, yeah. When just on occasions, just helping the referees out a little bit as well, just making sure everyone knew where the race leaders were.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Right, so what we'll do is we will look at some results. So which one would you like to start with? Which finals?
Might as well go in order and do the 4-wheel drive short course.
Okay, so 4-wheel drive short course. We've got a B final. There was only 3 cars in the B final. which was Oliver, Mark, and Joe. With Oliver taking all 3 wins, Mark taking consistently second in each one, and Joe coming in third. So that obviously meant that Oliver Swain won the 4-wheel drive B final, which then moves us nicely onto the 4-wheel drive short course A final. So we have got, if I run through all the cars there, we have got Dan State, Ben Baxter, Lucas Bird, Sharif, Saul, Carl, Mark, Jason Hopkins, Mark Hicks, and Hayden Hicks. We seem to be missing one of the guys from Sheffield, I believe, in the 4-wheel drive. I think he normally does a 4-wheel drive, doesn't he? But we got Dan. Again, Dan took all 3 of the finals. Ben Baxter took second in all 3, and Lucas took third in all 3, with Sharif taking a 4th, a 5th, and a 4. So that's like the top 4 there. Nice solid wins there for Dan. Nice solid seconds for Ben. Obviously very consistent all day, very consistent laps. So with Mark Hicks and Hayden Hicks, father and son rivalry bringing up the bottom of the A final. Not a lot between them. It looks like Hayden beat Mark on 2 of the finals. So well done, Hayden. Congratulations to you there, finally beating your dad, which is always good. I bet the car journey was fun on the way home.
Mm.
And then we go into the 2-wheel drive short course B final. Again, we've got Oliver Swain at the top. He took 2 out of the 3, with a second in the second one. Richard Birchall taking a second, a first, and a third, with Dan Moulds taking a 4th, a third, and a second. They are the top 3. And then we move into the 2-wheel drive short course A final. So, 2-wheel drive short course A final. Predictions before the event. I kind of predicted that Jamie would be certainly in the top 3. And I did kind of suggest that maybe he stood a chance of winning the event. I wasn't let down in my predictions. He took all 3 of the finals over Simon Hall. And then we got James Moulds in third. Nice and consistent runs for most of those guys. So Jamie certainly must be looking good in the championship, because I believe, hasn't he took most of the wins so far this season?
So he missed round 1, but he's won rounds 2, 3, and 4. So at Endor, he can take the championship with a good result there.
Yeah, we'll have a look at championship overall finals in a second. I'll get that page up in a second. So I've got something else on my screen today, which I don't normally have, but I can't seem to get rid of it. It's because I've unplugged a little monitor that I took with me the weekend that I haven't plugged back in, and that thing that's normally on my other monitors now half blocking one of my other screens. So, and then we move on to the premier class of the weekend. So the premier class of the weekend, we won't look at the bottom section of it, because the bottom end of it is not that good. I seem to be bringing up the bottom of that, but never mind. So I was quite happy just to get out there and do some racing after the events that I had throughout the day. So rear motor A final, we've got Jamie Watkis taking the overall win there with winning the second and third round and coming second in the first one, with Ben Baxter taking second there, coming first in round 1, second in round 2, fourth in round 4. And then Luke, who appeared for the finals, and then took, so from car 12, which what Luke started in the first heat, in the first final he was third, second final he was third, and in the fourth final, in the third final he was second from car 12. That takes some doing. that does take some doing getting through the field. So every respect to the guy. And then we start moving our way down through with Stuart Carling in 7th. Stuart is another member of the UK Stadium Truck Committee, so thank you, Stuart, for all your hard work that you put in. Moving our way down to Mark Biddis in 10th. Mark, again, once again, thank you for enabling me to do the event, in lending me the parts. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up the rear motor, which we had 12 cars for. Now, I believe at the next event, the rear motor booking in actually has its own booking in section, doesn't it?
It hasn't yet, but we're working on it.
We are working
if
on it.
anybody, yeah, if anybody does want to book in for rear motor, just do it in the normal way. Book in with the stadium trucks and just put RM next to your name, so I know.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working on doing it. Hopefully this week. We'll definitely have it up for Tiverton, but I think we didn't realise how well. We forgot it was only 2 weeks, so and that was only 10 days from when booking in actually closes. So I know Graham's a bit busy this week, so he hasn't said he's put it up yet, but we'll definitely have it up for the last round. But as I said, if you want to book in, please just book in to the stadium trucks and just put RM next to your name.
Fantastic. I might have a new truck for at the last round. I may have a new truck this Saturday, but it won't be built in the week. I'm not building it in the week. So I've actually ordered the factory team version of the RC10T.
Yeah.
Which we'll do some videos on, and we'll do some photos, and we'll have a good look at that. So thank you, Ian at Pen Models, for getting me that. Also, thank you for Ian for doing some wiring for me on Friday afternoon. Thank you very much. Right, so we move into the bottom heat of the stadium trucks, the 2-wheel drive 1/10 electric stadium trucks. The D final, which we've got Martin, Mark, Darcy, and Adrian. Darcy, she's very lucky. She won a new truck at the event. So I'm sure that her and her dad are busy building that. She won a brand new Storm, didn't she, in the raffle that we had?
No, Oliver won the Storm. Darcy won the RC10cc.
I thought that she had the Storm because I'm sure I saw her walking off with the Storm. Positive.
Well, Oliver was asking me for a setup for a Storm, so I'm guessing he definitely won the Storm.
And I'm sure I saw it on their pitting table, which was back of my tent. I'm positive it was Darcy. So what we'll do is we'll look into that and we'll come back to people and I'll give people a definitive answer there. But I think she was the first one to pull the ticket out of the hat, and she went straight up and pit the Storm. So she may have, I might be mistaken there, but I believe it was. So she may well have a new stadium truck for the next event, which I'm sure she'll be doing. So we've got Martin taking a first and 2 seconds. We've got Mark Birchenov taking a 6th, a 3rd, and a 3rd. With Darcy taking a 5th, a 3rd, and a 1st. Moving our way into the Stadium Truck C final, we've got Will, Andy, and John taking up your top 3. With Will taking 2 of the rounds, and then a 3rd, and then Andy taking 2nd in 2 and a 1st, and John taking a 4th, a 3rd, and a 2nd. Then we start moving our way up into the B final, and we've got Toby, Adam, and Callum, with what looks like possibly of quite a lot of Telford Car Club in the bottom section.
Yeah, there was some nippy taking before the start of the final for me.
So nice to see Andy Mountford back. Nice to see you back with us. Nice to see you back racing. I do wish you a speedy recovery. I do feel a little bit for you, having kind of been there myself. Knee issues are never good. So we've got Toby, Adam, and Callum, with Toby taking the 1st and the 3rd final, and a 4th and the 2nd, with Adam taking a 2nd, a 1st, and a 2nd, and Callum taking a 3rd, a 5th, and a 3rd. So well done there. Andy not been racing for a little bit, and he took the 4th there. Working our way down the final, we've got David Bailey, whose birthday was, I believe, on Monday. He kind of kept that quiet over the weekend, didn't he? Happy birthday, David. Mr. Stedman, again, another Telford regular. Graham, another Telford regular. Graham is also on the committee. Graham deals with some of the booking in, and he deals with some of the IT and sets various things up, including the nice Starlink system that we've got. So thank you, Graham, for all of your commitments coming into these events. And then we go on to the final of the stadium trucks, the A final, which are all the fast boys. So we have got yourself, followed by Kit, followed by Jamie Long, followed by Joe, Alan, Steve, Rich, Jason, Luke, and Charlie. With yourself taking, as you've already said, a second in the first round to Kit, and then securing rounds 2 and 3 with wins. Kit taking the first in the first round with second in round 2 and 3. Jamie Long, 2/3 and a 5th. And then Joe, a 10th, a 5th, and a 3rd. I believe Joe had some gearbox issues throughout the day.
Yes, he did. Bless him.
It must have been
Bless him,
something.
bless.
I didn't touch his car. It was no jinx of mine. It was nothing to do with my gearbox issues. I weren't jinxing people.
I think he just had one of those weekends from the moment he turned up on Saturday morning with a flat tyre on his road car. So, yeah, he had a few issues with a bearing going and then a diff gear going on the Sunday. So, but he sorted it out for the last leg, and when he'd got a working diff in it, he saw how quick he was.
Yeah, 3rd overall. That's third in the third, not third overall. So a 3rd in the 3rd final. That's quite good. I think he's still running the same stadium truck that he won last year, one of the rounds with it last year. So
Yes.
maybe it's time that he spent a bit of money and had a new truck. So maybe that one could be time for the shelf and a nice brand shiny new one for next season. We should push on. But yeah, so it's nice seeing some more. I see some more Telford regulars there in the final. So yeah, all well and good. The little counter has just popped up and we've got about 8 minutes remaining. So what we could do is we could have a comfort break and restart if you want, or we can just carry on for the 8 minutes and just wrap it up.
Carry on.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, so the other things, we had a few other things happening throughout the weekend. One of which was a raffle for Cancer Research UK, I believe.
Yeah.
And the prizes were donated by several companies. Would you like to list those companies for me?
So there was Schumacher, CML, Model Sport, RC Octane, and Coventry Model Car Club. And I imagine it was James Mould who actually donated the Speedo for the Hobbywing Speedo.
Okay. I do apologise to a couple of those companies. We don't seem to have your logo on our screen. I will try and put it on at some point. But thank you very much. So yeah, so we raised about £1,000, didn't we?
It was dead on £1,000. It's amazing when I was helping. So I want to thank Sue Ashforth for looking after the raffle all weekend. So I gave her the raffle ticket books and everyone came across, and then when we were folding them up about 10 minutes before we were due to do the raffle, and I said how many was left, and I think there was 13 tickets then, so I added one and then started shouting at people, and amazing, we sold them all just in time to make it around 1,000.
That's pretty good going. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for buying a ticket. Those of you who won prizes, I hope you're happy with them. I know a few people certainly had multiple prizes. So well done to all of those. But yeah, once again, thank you to all these companies. We can't run raffles unless we get prizes. We can't give prizes out unless we physically have them. So thank you to all these companies. And again, any prizes that we have throughout the series, I know that CM Allen have gave some stuff out before. So thank you to, again, all these companies that give the series stuff. It all helps. It certainly does help. And we've got the last round is coming up next month. So hopefully we might have a few prizes to give out then. So yeah. So next round is the booking is open. It is not this weekend coming, it is the following weekend. Hopefully we'll be speaking to somebody from the club. And what do you want to tell us the name of the club that we're going to, Tony?
So it's Nottingham and Derby Off-Road. So it's called Endor. So it's just between Nottingham and Ripley on the A610.
Fantastic. Right, while you were doing that, I was just flicking up a different screen. Yeah, so again, we're looking forward to a great event there. Hopefully we'll be talking to somebody from the club, and we'll do the usual domestics of the club, which is pretty much the fact sheet and a little bit more. If we look at the championship, which is the one that we want to know the figures from, so the four-wheel drive short course, Dan State is leading overall over Ben Baxter. There's not a lot of points in it. So there may be a little bit of change there. Looking through, so we've got Dan, Ben Baxter, Sharif is third in that championship. Again, there's not much points there. And then if we start working our way down, and we've got two-wheel drive short course, Simon Hall is winning the short course over Stuart Carlin. Not much points in that one either. Over James Moulds. Sorry, not Jamie. James Moulds. James Moulds actually tied with the same amount of points as Stuart, but Stuart seems to be in front of him. Jamie Long is currently in 7th, and so that may change because Jamie's only done 3 rounds so far. All 3 rounds he seems to have scored maximum, but he's only done 3 rounds so far. And then if we start looking down to Stadium Truck, the top 3, the top 4 in Stadium Truck is yourself on 401 points, Joe Cockhill on 390 points, Steve Price on 274 points, Charlie Hall on 359 points, and David Bailey on 346 points. There's not a lot of points there between the top four people. So obviously it's all open to change. Kit has only done 3 of the rounds so far, and Kit is lying 11th with 296 points. But again, he's got another round to make sure that he can count into there. And then if we start looking our way down,
you've got Jamie in 13th and Alan in 14th as well, only counting 3 scores.
Yeah, that was the name I was looking for, was Jamie, and I couldn't see it. Actually went straight past it. Yeah, so you got Jamie and Alan. Jamie on 295, Alan on 291. Both have only done 3 rounds so far. So again, there's all little to change there. Jason Potter is lying at the moment at 16th overall. Again, only done 3 rounds. Start looking our way through. The rear motor guys are kind of listed in there. Is that listed in championship order or not?
No. So don't worry about the rear motors in there. I've got the separate championship points on a spreadsheet. So at the moment, first and overall champion for this year is Ben Baxter, and he's got 403 points. Mark Ashforth is second with, I want to say, 392, without the figures in front, and I think Mark Biddis is third with 389 after 4 rounds. But again, there's some drivers lower down who have only done 2 rounds so far, so that will all change by the time we get to Tiverton.
I know one thing about the rear motor class. I can tell you who's in last.
Yes, it's a fair guess. It's you.
Yeah, it would be. So I did rear motor this weekend for the first time, and I had a few issues throughout the day. And I've now realised that actually it's not as fragile as I thought it was going to be. All throughout the day, I wasn't doing anything on the doubles, and it kept leaving the car very unsettled on my landing. And then on my last final, I decided to go for it on the doubles. And I realised I could actually clear them, and it was a lot clean a landing, but I did end up crashing a few more times somewhere around the track where I kept pushing harder. So, but no, brilliant. The only other thing is that I'd like to mention before we disappear is JC Racing. John has produced a new tyre. At the moment, we can only use it on the front axle because it's not a controlled tyre. Somebody did run one the weekend a few times during practice, and he said that the tyre was quite good, but he'd like to do some more running on it. So there is a new tyre out there. So if people want to have a look at it, come and see me at the next event. I will have some with me. It looks quite good. I believe it's called the Datum, and it is on his website. But at the moment, we can only run it on the front. We can't run it on the rear axle. But there's nothing to stop people running it on the rear axle away from the championship. So, anything else you'd like to discuss? We've got about 1 minute.
I think we've covered everything from Coventry. But yeah, so like I said, booking in is open till 9 o'clock on Wednesday evening. So if Andy Bird listens to this, it's a reminder to him. We are currently around 70, I believe. I was checking earlier on. So entries are filling up nicely. Obviously, Coventry is our record number of drivers for an event with 78, which superseded Boughton, which was 74. So entries are
Fantastic.
But I know.
Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly close this because before the screen goes off. So obviously numbers are on the up. Fantastic. We have kind of gone on a little bit, and my screen is about to close because we only get so long on the app. And what we'll do is thank you all very much for listening. Thank you all those people that took part of the weekend. Thank you all the people that helped organise it, and thank you for all the prize winners. I will see you next podcast. Thank you very much.